Oh, you did that on this?
You can talk. It's okay.
Oh, I was trying to get you on my laptop. Hang on.
Hi, Bruce.
Hello.
Wait. Here, let me get you back. We were looking at, there he is.
Get the laptop.
Yes. No, the tablet.
The tablet.
Okay. Here.
Hey, Bruce.
How are you folks doing?
Fine. How are you doing?
Doing very well. I like that shirt. Looks like a
Huh?
sunset or sunrise.
Yes, it does. Yeah, right. Well,
Something like that, especially after a few days. Oh, sorry, just kidding. I'm trying to get my tablet.
hey, Bruce,
Yes, sir.
I talked to my neighbor.
Okay.
You know, the neighbors, I talked to both of my neighbors, and I talked to the other guy. Two of them said they didn't want to do anything.
Right.
The other one said, how much did I? Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And then he asked me how much I wanted for the 5 acres, on the south, because I told him I was going to sell that. And I told him 2 1/4. Now he paid 45,000 for his acre, those 2 acres, 85,000, 40-some thousand an acre.
Right.
So that's the only thing that I've got in the system for somebody looking at it.
Okay. Was he
And that was-
interested in that
And that
number?
was the, huh?
Was he interested in your number?
Yes.
Okay.
He's getting hold of his uncle today.
All right.
Well, uncle or cousin or somebody, because Renee, when I talked to Renee, this was who was going to be doing it. It was Renee's uncle or whatever it was that was coming from California. It's the guy that's coming from California.
Okay. And these are the folks.
I don't
that
know
have these are the folks that have the 5 at the south end already.
No, these are the folks that's got the house across from me, on the corner. You know where the corner is? We're on the building side.
Oh, wait. Let me turn. Uh-oh.
Wait a minute. Are you still there?
No, I missed it.
Okay, there we
I'm
go.
sorry, Bruce. I had you
Okay.
on the phone and my tablet for a
That's fine.
second. Okay, where are we? Okay.
He doesn't need this.
Yes, he does. You're so handsome. Who'd want to miss that?
Sit down, honey. He wants to see you. Okay, go ahead, Bruce. Are you there?
Yes.
I'm here. So you're talking about the property.
He can't hear.
Can you hear me?
The 5 acres that's on the south is what I quoted him for 2 1/4.
Right. Right. And I'm just wondering which neighbor that is. Is that the neighbor?
That's the neighbor that's right across the street from me on 493.
Okay.
That's on the house on the corner,
The house on the corner next to the big shop.
red building. Right,
Okay.
right.
So now you're back at talking about the South 5, because last time we spoke,
Well,
you folks were mentioning the front 5 and the house. And
okay, wait just a minute. I don't remember that, but Cindy will be right back here. Cindy?
Okay, that was the last thing I heard was.
Oh,
maybe
okay. Well, then
front 5 and
something
the
was
house.
miscommunicated
And
there.
then you would build another house on the back 5.
Okay, there you go. Okay, that's what I thought when I got this, and it said that. She said, "Honey, what is this?" And I said, "Honey, I have no idea. You're the one that talked to him about building a house over there." So, just a minute. She'll be right back, Bruce.
All right.
I think she had to go to the restroom.
So that's fine. So if that's not what is happening, then I will scratch through that option. That was the last thing I heard as
Yeah, yeah,
the
okay.
current idea.
Well, that's no. Hey? So, how was your weekend camping? A
We
little
actually
wet?
we did not go camping. We actually went and looked at some 4 properties that I might be interested in. Because I'm planning on selling my place and moving a little east, get some acreage. Because so early in the year, I sold my 30 acres that I had,
Yeah.
and it sold faster than I expected because there was nothing on it, just deer and dirt basically. But so now I've got all of my farm equipment in downtown Princeton in my driveway. So I've got 3 large tractors, big trailer side by side.
Well, do you need to bring them out here and park them?
There you go. 2 pickup trucks. So I've got all that sitting in my driveway waiting for my next farm.
I'm saying, do you need to come out and park them out here in the back?
Well, if I do, if it gets to that point, then I would definitely call you and rent some dirt from you for a while.
Well, no, you don't need to rent. Just park them there. Doesn't
Well,
bother me.
So
And
yeah,
then I'll tell everybody I hit the pay dirt and I got all this equipment, and so now I'm a success.
and so with our
Hang on just a minute, Bruce.
sure.
Let me go. Bruce, are you still there?
I am, yes, sir.
Okay, buddy. Sorry for the delay.
All right.
Okay, now Cindy tells me that in your conversation with her, she was asking you about, selling the house and then maybe building a house down there in those trees area, back in that area.
Right.
And she had thought she had said no, that's really not what we were going to want to do, that we were going to go ahead and sell the property, to get the 330,000 or whatever it was that we were supposed to try to get. So, oh boy. So it's what we'll do is the 5 acres on the south side. Now, I offered it to my neighbor for 2.25. So what do we do on, should we wait and see if he wants to buy the 5 acres? And then that way we wouldn't waste the time of advertising it for that. And then go on to sell the front 5 acres as commercial, on a different scale.
Well, if they decide to buy it, is he going to pay the survey and replatting and everything to take that 5 out of the whole 10?
Well, I haven't the first
Or
thing
would
I
you
haven't
pay
discussed that
or
with him.
would you guys split it? So that's something we'd discuss. Yeah.
Well, I haven't asked him about that. I was just wanting to see if he said yes, they're interested, because he's moving from California. The
Okay.
guy is Renee's uncle.
The nephew or the uncle of your neighbor?
Yeah, the uncle of the neighbor.
Okay.
Who was going to be the one that was going to buy the property to begin with, because Renee had just bought his place and built his house.
Right. Right. Well,
So I'm thinking that we can sign, but I'd rather we can sign for the 5 acres at 2.25, but not advertise it until he tells us if he's going to buy it or not.
okay. Well, you need to give him a date that he needs to make a decision.
Right. 2 days or 3 days? Because he's here in Texas, so he can look at it pretty quick.
Right. Yeah, I would say by the weekend. Say by Saturday, 5 p.m. He needs to give you a yes or a no by Saturday, 5 p.m.
Yeah, that sounds good. I'll go over to the neighbor and tell him.
And that needs to be, on an official.
And then if he says yes, they want to buy it, then I'll have them call you.
Okay. And that should be, like an official offer, not just yeah, we'll do that and then we'll get around to it next month.
No. It's got to be. No, I want it to where it's a real offer.
Right.
Now that blue square you got, is that the 1 acre size, or is that just roughly you just drew it in?
This here?
Yeah.
That's the approximate of the 1 acre with the home site, according to the CAD.
Yeah, see there. Now, that is that the yellow one? That's about right, because the well
Right,
is supposed to be on that 1 acre.
Right. That was, we can always, that would come down to the survey. Right.
Yeah.
This is just for purposes of sketching it out.
Right. I figured, I was just thinking, I'm sure that they had the well in that 1 acre.
Yeah, we can line it up with those lines. And those lines, when you zoom in, they're not exactly right. It comes down to, GPS coordinates and specific points on their survey. But that's pretty close there. So yes, sir, that's the approximate 1 acre with your barns. And this is, I guess, is your well house here,
Right. Uh-huh.
residence, and then all of that. So, with that, they would need to, work with us, with you specifically to
How the
decide,
5 acres is going to be drawn out.
decide where that 5 goes, and they would need to work that with the survey because it's going to be a little shy of this here. It's because we have 5.72 and 5 and 1, because you have 11.72 or 11.73 acres total. So whether you want to come down shy of here or come across and then have an angle, that's kind of up to you.
Right. Well,
Or it might
yeah,
work, to come along your fence line here. So those are things that as we get to the survey and, we'll work out with him on site where you and he agree generally that it should be. And then when they get to the point of the survey and making a new survey, then
right.
3 of us can go out with the survey man and pinpoint, yes, we want this corner here, and then you raise or lower, that final dollar amount if he gets just under 5 or just over 5.
Right.
So there's a couple ways in the sales contract that it will go. Would be, so you either, and we can scroll through the contract here if we want. Basically, it would be $225,000 for approximately 5 acres or 5 acres. And then on the survey, any shortages will or will not increase or reduce the price, right?
Right.
But if you do that, then any slight excess that he gets, he pays for a little more. Any that he gets shorted a little just under the 5, then he would pay less.
Right.
Or we kind of
Right.
agree, work
Right.
really tight with the survey man to get it right at 5 acres.
Right.
So-
Right. Right.
And that's just and that comes down to a couple check boxes that they do or do not check when they fill out a contract.
Okay.
Okay. And then any offers they or anybody else make, I would present that to you and go over all of those details with you. And
Right.
explain all the
Okay.
little check boxes and all of that at that time.
Okay. Well, I'll call him. I'll call my neighbor. I'll go over to his house now when we get done off the phone, and I'll find out what he says.
Okay.
And if it looks like, it's, he wants it, if he says, yes, my uncle wants it, he saw it, he would like the 5 acres so he could be close to me.
All right. Yeah. And if he does, so since I cannot represent you as the seller and him as the buyer at the same time, right?
Right.
Because I'm looking out for your financial interest. I can't do that for both sides. If he doesn't have his own realtor, then I have somebody on my team that can help him fill out the contract and take care of that as well.
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
or and I've got a guy that could do that too, a realtor. But yeah, we can figure that out, how to do that.
All right. And I think when I was walking the property, I found one of the pins at a back corner and a front corner. The others,
Okay.
the survey guy will find those, or I do have a metal detector. We can go out and try to make it easier on the survey guy.
Yeah.
with all
Well,
of
the
that.
survey guy's they've been out there 2 or 3 times, so they know the property pretty good.
Yeah, and these 2 corners are pretty recent from the 5 you sold to this guy.
Right.
So those, I know I saw this one on the corner and I walked down the fence. I think I saw this one as well. So then it would just be adding, him doing his calculations and finding out
Right.
where the pin and this new pin go to sell that 5. And then that would still leave you folks 6.72, which allows the 1 acre home
Right.
site. And then you still have 5 that you can keep in ag for
Right.
now. And
Right.
then maybe sell that on the corner a little later.
But now, Bruce, when if Renee doesn't get this, for the 225, then when we sign up with you, I want you to try to sell the 5 acres. But if a guy wants that other 2,
Right.
you follow me?
Right. Yeah. We talked about last
I
time.
thought we talked about that, that you
Right,
wanted to
right.
sell the
If you-
5 acres. And then if somebody really wanted to needed 10 acres or 11 acres or 10 acres, then they could do that.
If they're willing to give you top dollar, then, I will present any offer to you and you can say yes, no, or let's modify it. Right. So yes, if Renee's uncle does not want this 5, then we would make a listing with 5 to be taken out of the 10.7, and also put in the listing that if they're interested, another 5.7 is available, right? If they wanted to offer for all 10. And then, if they just want, the front 5, then you have a minimum you'll accept for that. If they just want the back 5, you have a minimum for that.
Okay.
And we'll discuss those things when we write up the papers. And
Okay.
then if they want all of it, you have a minimum for that.
Right.
All right.
All right. That sounds good. All right. I'll go over to Renee's and I'll call you back. And I don't know if he's home from work yet, but I'll call you tonight or tomorrow morning.
Okay.
And then we'll go from there, bud.
All right. Thank you, sir.
That sound good?
Sounds good.
Okay. Now, next question, Bruce.
Yes, sir.
The commercial property across from the house.
Yes.
What do I do about that? This is, Bruce, it is finally dawned on Renee and I that this is ridiculous, that they're running 24 hours a day out of that. At 2:00 in the morning, they're out there working, driving, and cleaning the machine, and it's loud.
Right.
And
What exactly are they doing? You said they have water pumps or?
no, concrete pump trucks. You've seen those with the,
Right.
where they
Okay.
pump the concrete.
And so here they're just cleaning them out, or they're filling them with water. What are they doing at this?
Well, no, they'll come in at night at 2:00 after they've dumped their load. They'll come in, they'll spend 30 minutes to an hour cleaning it out.
Okay, so
run.
so then they're doing washout remnants here, and I'm guessing they have, obviously, since they moved to commercial, wherever they're dumping it, that's going to put a lot of the chemicals in the soil, which may not affect this guy's farm downhill here, right? Because if you're putting all that washout in the soil here, some of it's going to leach to this fellow's farm. But as far as
anyway, that's another issue. And I've been taking videos of it at night and how loud it is,
Right.
at 2:00 in the morning. And I talked to the neighbor that's directly south of that. And of course, he's not living there at night anymore. They moved in town.
Okay.
But so but Renee, I talked to him and he said, Pat, it's ridiculous. They sat outside there, outside each one of the drive for 10 or 15 minutes waiting to get in. And he said, it's getting ridiculous. It's so loud.
Yeah.
I said, yeah, it's loud. So I need to, and the way I was going to do it was call my commissioner and have him come out and say, okay, commish, look what's going on.
Right.
And I don't think this is right that you can do this. This guy needs to be in an industrial park where they can operate 24
Right.
hours a day, not out here.
Or they need to have times limited, like
Yeah,
nothing between dusk and dawn, or
yeah,
from 8 p.m. to 8 a.m. Something like that
Right.
I would think would be reasonable, since you are still directly near residential.
right.
Yeah, I would at least send the commissioner and everybody on your city council, right?
Well, you mean the county?
County. Well, you're still in Princeton. You're Farmersville.
Well, I'm on the farmers.
ISD.
Yeah, I'm on the Farmersville ISD.
Right, you're in Farmersville ISD, but your
This
address
is
is
Princeton.
coming up as Princeton.
Oh, but that's because that road I was told was the line. Princeton was on one side and Farmersville was on the other side.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. But it's when
Yeah.
we pull up the address on the appraisal.
No, I
district.
know it comes up Princeton because the mailbox in Princeton.
Right. But you're Farmersville ISD
Right.
right there.
Yeah.
So, it's not in the city limits, but it's in Princeton's
Bailiwick.
township. Right.
Okay.
So I might do that. I would definitely check with the county and, see what they would suggest for you on, at least trying to get some regulations on not having them at all hours of the night.
Yeah. Okay, buddy. Well, if
That's
you
a
can
good
think of
start.
anything or know of anybody, let me know or just email Cindy and I'll get a hold of them.
All right.
All right, Bruce. Have a nice
right, yes,
evening,
sir.
bud.
Let me know. Call or text in a little while.
Okay. Hey, do you want 5 acres out this way? Is 5 acres big enough for you?
I'm looking for 20 plus.
Ooh. Okay, 20 plus. Okay. All right, buddy.
Yes, sir. All right.
Thank you, Bruce.
Yes, sir. Bye.
I don't know how you disconnect after this.
There's a thing down at the bottom. Says end or more, or you can just close it out.
Oh, wait a minute.
I'll click
How do you
end.
close it out? Just pull the thing down? Oh, more. Push on more. Chat,
No.
end.